We are today, as of last week, we finished the first quarter of the year. So I thought I'd take a few minutes during our mission moment time and give you a little bit of an update on where we are, some of the numbers that we've been seeing, some of the ministry opportunities and mission opportunities that God has been doing, and some of the miracles that God has been doing in and through our church. Because I never want you to miss the great things that God is doing around us. So I got a lot of information here, so put your seatbelts on. This may feel a little like drinking from a fire hose, but that's because God is doing so much here at Cornerstone. Let me start with some numbers for all you numbers nerds. If you factor out the 2 Sundays in January that almost nobody could come to church, our attendance this year has been really good. We've been averaging 297 people in this room and 435 if you count in children and students in worship as well. So that's an increase of 21 people from December 31st to today in this room, and 55 people across the board in our attendance since the first of the year. Some of that attendance growth, a lot of it we've been seeing in our children's ministry. Just in this first quarter, we've watched our children's ministry attendance jump from an average of 61 to up in the mid-80s and sometimes as high as 100 in worship. What a great opportunity that is. Some of you were here a couple of weeks ago and you participated in our FX worship, our family worship, where kids bring their families to church. Let me hear a wahoo if you were there. All right, that's exactly what it sounded like. What an amazing opportunity. There were 118 children and families involved in FX worship, and we're going to do this again every 5th Sunday of the month, but just part of our opportunity to really remember that kids are Jesus' favorite people, so they ought to be our favorite people as well. And just another reminder that as our children's ministry is growing, so are the opportunities for serving in and through our children's ministry. So I'd love for you to really prayerfully consider, what might it look like for me to connect? Maybe send an email to Teresa Roberts, our children's ministry director. Call us here at the church office. We would love to get you connected. Now, let me give you a few financial numbers. This year, our leadership board set a rather aggressive budget at $750,000. I say aggressive because in 2018, we brought in $704,000. And so we were leaning forward in faith, expecting God to do some amazing things. Now, here's where we are at the end of the first quarter. The blue is where our budgeted need was at about $187,000 to stay on track for the year. Our actual income is about $167,000, so about $20,000 less than that. But the good news is that our spending is actually $10,000 less than that. So we've been working real hard to be good stewards with the resources we have. There's some things we're not doing right now so that we make sure we stay healthy financially. I thought it was interesting as I looked at how our income has come in through the year, the monthly breakdown. Look at this. You can see that our average monthly need is $62,500 a month. February and March were great. They were fine, right on target. January, not so much. Right? And so you can see that where we have fallen short, we're really what came from January, and we just never made that up. We did a little historic look back 5 years over the first quarter of the last 5 years, and you can see we're about $20,000 behind where we were this time last year. But I want to remind you that if we had been on target in January, we'd actually be ahead by $10,000. So there's some great opportunities, and there is some challenging news, but no bad news when it comes to our finances. But I do want to take this opportunity to say, summer is coming. Summer is coming, and the reason I say that is because, most churches, and this one in particular, has a nice little slump as people go off on vacations and people go off on sports teams and all the kinds of things that happen, the busyness of the summer. So I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't recommend that you prayerfully consider an online giving kind of relationship, whether it's through our app or through your bank. By the way, your bank charges no fees to us or to you, so that might be a good option. And it's a way for those those of you who want to remain faithful givers to the mission and ministry of the church, don't have to worry about snowstorms or summer when it comes to your giving. Now, some of you who've been here for a while may remember that a couple of years ago we started a campaign, a capital campaign called Prepare the Way. We had $750,000 worth of pledges come into that, and so far, year to date, we've had about $556,000 of that come in. And we made a promise during the Prepare the Way campaign that 60% of that would go towards debt reduction and 40% of that would go towards capital needs in and around the building. I'm excited to tell you that if we ended the capital campaign today, if we moved all of that unspent into the debt retirement, we would be right at our 60-40 split. So that's really good. We've been really faithful with caring for that promise. I also want you to know that there are some capital issues that we really want to have the ability to focus on, like our heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems, that if we ended today, we would not be able to do. So really pushing forward towards that goal of $750,000 will allow us to do some of those key goal things that we believe are so important to our mission and ministry through this church. So just thank you for your faithfulness. Officially, the campaign ends in October. So those of you who are already a part of it, I just want to encourage you to stay in with us. And those of you who maybe didn't get to be a part of it, it's not too late for you to come and say, hey, Dave, what would it look like for me to jump in and be a part of how God is preparing the way for us? Have you had enough of numbers yet? All right, because none of y'all are here for the numbers, right? We're here for ministry. We're here for the miracles, right? We're here for the mission that God can and is doing through us. So let me share some of those really exciting things that God is doing. At the beginning of the year, we set kind of a laser focus on mission here locally through our Mission Possible initiative and globally through a new relationship we have with our partners in Guatemala. Our Christmas miracle offering raised almost $50,000 to support those efforts. And so let me tell you what's happening now through Mission Possible. Mission Possible has become a year-round initiative where you have the opportunity to be the hands and feet of Jesus all year long, serving our most at-risk neighbors here in this community through all kinds of opportunities. And you can see we've got a Valentine's party in February, GEO in March and April. In May, we're going to have a big church-wide cookout. During the summer, there's a summer reading program that happens. Back to school in August. November is great Thanksgiving outreach. And in December is our Christmas party. So there are all this year ways for you to make a difference and be the hands and feet of Jesus in the world through Mission Possible. I'm excited to announce that we have now 15 people signed up to go to Guatemala in June. We haven't bought plane tickets yet, so it's still not too late. It will be soon, but it's still not too late to get on board with this June trip. We're also doing another one in October that I'd love for you to really pray about and consider. And we've been working with our friends Kevin and Tanya Applegate and One Way Ministries down in Guatemala on the best way to invest in missional and development in the San Lorenzo community. Our preschool continues to be a premier outreach opportunity through this church. Let me give you some numbers about our preschool. If you were here on Preschool Sunday, you know we had 87 preschoolers, 189 adults, and 55 siblings that worshiped with us that day. And what a great opportunity that was for us to demonstrate the love of Jesus to our friends through the preschool. Just this week, they had Science Night. There was over 200 families who participated in Science Night and who engaged in blowing up volcanoes and doing all kinds of fun stuff here at the church. As of right now, there are 264 students enrolled for next year, and enrollment is still going. We're still doing tours, still have some spots left. And all summer, our preschool is going to be offering camps for new students and already enrolled students to continue to bless and to partner with parents to raise these preschool superheroes for Jesus. Amen? Now, I want to share with you 3 new initiatives that I'm pretty excited about that are because you give, because you serve, because you are a part of this community, 3 new things that are happening. The first one is our partnership with the Edge Teen Center. Beginning this fall, we're going to be opening up our student wing 5 days a week after school and welcoming students from our community in a safe and inviting environment where they can do homework, get some mentoring, make some connections, build some relationships, and really bless the kids in our community after school. And so we're really excited about that. We expect at least 30 to 60 on day one. So there will be tons of serving opportunities for you if you're asking, boy, that sounds exciting and I'd like to be a part of that. Another new initiative that we are working on right now is online worship. Did you know the front door of the church moved? Right? You used to think it was right out here in the lobby. That's not where the front door is anymore. The front door now is online. Nobody comes to this church that hasn't checked us out online first. And so we are dreaming and working towards updating our website and working on some new equipment to do some live streaming for 2 reasons. One, for all you summer travelers. We want to keep you connected into the life of Cornerstone through live streaming worship during the summer and continuing on after that. And 2, we're looking at live streaming as an outreach opportunity for those who will check us out online before they ever step foot in this building. So we're really excited about that. The last initiative that I'm pretty excited about is called our identity discovery process. And here's where this came from. 25 years ago, when this church was planted, we had a very clear understanding of who this church was and what God was calling us to do in our world. A clear set of identity and mission, vision, and values. Now, over the course of 25 years, it's real easy for it to get some scope creep, right? And for that to become a little less clear. And so we're initiating a process where we can refocus on who is it that God is calling us to be in this next 25 years. And what are our core mission, vision, and values that will drive decisions and directions of this church. You'll all be asked to be a part of this through church-wide surveys and through some conversations we'll be setting up. So I just want you to keep your eyes open for that. We're excited that our goal is during this fall, we're able to unveil our new set of mission, vision, and values and what we've heard from you all as God's identity for Cornerstone in this next season. Now, if I had more time, I'd just stay up here all day and tell you about the life change, the individuals that come to me and have shared that because of Cornerstone, my marriage is stronger. Because of Cornerstone, I've taken one step closer to Jesus. Because of Cornerstone, I've found a blessing I didn't know I could have. So I just want you to know, friends, if you call Cornerstone your church home, God is on the move here. Amen? And friends, this is why we give. This is why we serve. This is why we invest. This is why we offer ourselves.